for me, that's where a lot of people start that feminist journey. They start that journey towards global gender equality and the recognition that there's something they can do about it, simply because there's that understanding and recognition that that inequality exists in the first place. My name is Madeline Price. I'm the National Director and founder of the One Woman Project. So the One Woman Project is a youth-led non-for-profit organisation dedicated to education about and advocacy promoting global gender equality. And we have a bunch of passionate, inspirational volunteers who work towards in-school workshops about gender education. We do a seminar series, we do engagement and outreach events, we do festivals and conferences, as well as online and offline campaigns about various issues. So I grew up on a beef cattle farm in a very rural area. There were a few instances and a few situations that sort of rubbed me the wrong way when I was growing up. So for example, we had a show society for the local Imbil show, and every single time the show comes around, the women will sit inside buttering the bread and the men will stand outside cooking the sausages. And I was just like, I don't understand why I can't cook a sausage. This is just unfathomable to me. And so this idea had been floating around for ages of, if we just educated all of these young people about issues of gender inequality, we might actually do something to change it. So that's sort of where it came from. The culmination of it really came from, I spent a summer semester in Prague, and as part of that we had to develop a sort of community engagement program that we wanted to implement in our own communities. And I was like, okay, this idea's been floating around in my head for ages. I finally put it on paper. It's not that hard to just do it now. So basically came back to Australia and had the organisation set up within a couple of months and kicked off our first seminar series in 2014. When you're engaged in the gender sphere and the feminist sphere in particular, there's this expectation that you're going to be trolled online and you're going to receive this abuse and harassment, but you just have to power through it. And I think that's quite a negative mindset to have. It was a mindset that I had for a very long time. I just went, look, I'm a feminist who's active, I'm going to get trolled, it's totes fine. brucewillis01@gmail.com is going to call me some names. And that frustrates me to no end, because it shouldn't be something to expect. There should be a reasonable expectation that if you're engaged within this movement, people aren't going to threaten to kill you. That's something I just thought was, I don't know, basic human decency. Obviously I was wrong, but it's something that slowly the movement is moving towards, acknowledging that we shouldn't just accept it. There should be some form of movement to fight back against it that's more than just, oh, this has happened, we need to talk about it. There needs to be something that is in place, like Twitter taking down trolls, like there needs to be some sort of structural change there. In terms of my own self-care and management following situations like that, I'll be perfectly honest, like I don't cope with it well. I tend to be one of those people who has a very high level of burnout, so I can just keep going, and then just fall off the edge of a cliff and die. But I know what I can handle, and I would never put the same sort of pressures and expectations on another team member or another member of the feminist community that I put upon myself, because I know where my breaking point is and I know what I need to do to come back from it. So I think it's important to recognise where your breaking point is and how you rebound back from it, because that's the only way that you're going to ever be able to go in that activist space and continue to go. We actually have this really positive team culture at the moment. So our team members will go and see movies together, and we'll have dinner, and we'll engage with each other on a social level. I always used to say that non-for-profit work would take up my entire social life, but I didn't mind because my best friends were ones that I've met through the organisation. So having that positive team culture is something that when you go for an interview with a volunteer organisation, if you're not connecting with the person across the table, they haven't got the right team culture for you. So I think that's something that we really pride ourselves in, and that any volunteer who's looking to engage with an organisation should be looking for that team culture as well, because you stay because of the team.